Hi, everyone. Thank you for taking the time to meet with us. We're Team L, and I'm Lauren, and this is my partner, Sebastion. Today, we're excited to share a strategic plan for Reliant Transportation. This plan is designed to help you reach 90% shipment tracking compliance by 2025, a goal that we believe is not only achievable, but transformational. Here's a quick overview of where we're headed. The strategy revolves around three pillars. First, a highly competitive incentive-based structure that motivates drivers to comply and holds them accountable when they don't. Second, proven technology that integrates tracking into Reliant's existing system and client experience. And third, a cultural shift where tracking is treated as a core part of performance, not a side task. Together, these elements drive greater visibility, stronger client satisfaction, and a sharper competitive edge in the marketplace. So let's talk about the goal itself. We're targeting 90% real-time tracking compliance by the end of 2025. That means at any given moment, at least 9 out of 10 loads are traceable, from pickup to delivery, with location data available to internal teams and clients alike. This specific, measurable, and impactful KPI that connects directly to the operational performance and customer trust. So, why is this so important? Because reliability today means visibility. Right now, many brokers still rely heavily on manual check calls, which are time-consuming, error-prone, and out of sync with client expectations. Modern shippers expect real-time updates, self-serve tracking portals, and proactive expectation alerts. If Reliant doesn't deliver that level of visibility, there is a real risk of losing business to competitors who do, especially with Fortune 500 clients who treat transparency as a non-negotiable. Without reliable tracking, Reliant faces multiple operational and reputational risks. They face missed or late deliveries that go unnoticed until the last minute, higher labor costs from manual check-ins, clients feeling left in the dark and becoming frustrated, and most importantly, lost in trust, which can jeopardize contracts and referrals. With over 65,000 loads moved annually, even with a small tracking gap can snowball into a major liability. This strategy impacts all of Reliant's core stakeholders. Drivers are incentivized and ranked on tracking performance. They gain bonuses or lose opportunities. Clients benefit from transparency and peace of mind with fewer "where's my freight" calls and more control over scheduling. Internal operation teams gain efficiency with fewer calls to make and more data to act on, and executives and ownership get greater confidence in performance, better retention, and a clear competitive story to tell. This plan gives Reliant a real edge in a crowded market. While many mid-sized brokers are still struggling to track even 60% of their loads, Reliant can break into the top tier with 90% plus compliance. That means you're not just keeping up, but you're standing out. And not just offering a basic technique feature, but by building a full system around it with accountability and service differentiation. Here's how the strategy comes together. First, driver incentives with a clear bonus for the top performers and discipline for the bottom performers. Technology is the second, which with leveraging ELD integration and tracking apps where you can connect with your existing systems. Monitoring is the third, with KPI dashboards that track performance by driver, region, and lane. And the fourth is cultural buy-in, where everyone understands that tracking performance is performance. This is a competitive strategy, not just a software rollout. We've broken down the rollout into clear phases. In Q2 of 2024, you'll pilot track tech with a sample group and finalize the incentive model. In Q3, you roll out the client portal and start monitoring performance using soft enforcement. Q4 is when full enforcement kicks in. Rewards start going out to the top drivers, and underperformers are coached or removed from the company. And throughout 2025, you monitor, optimize, and lock in that 90% target.
Yeah, so now I'm going to start talking a little bit about our program, which is a driver incentive system. So taking a closer look at the performance model that drives the strategy, this is a tiered system that creates real competition and clear expectations for drivers. Drivers with 100% tracking compliance earn a $500 bonus at the end of the quarter, with the top priority on load selection and public recognition. The top 95 to 99% of trackers earn a $250 bonus and a raffle entry to help keep motivation high. The top 90 to 94% still get a $100 bonus, which is kind of our minimum expectation for drivers. And then for those drivers who fall between the 80 to 90% range get flagged, and then those falling below 80%, especially repeatedly, enter probation and potentially removal if it continues. So this system helps reward performance and weeds out complacency and failure to adapt to the new system. Looking at a pestle summary from our system, from an environmental perspective, the strategy is strongly supported. In terms of political regulations, like ELD mandates already require GPS data, so we're just kind of building on what's already available. On economic, trends reward efficiency, so that means less wasted time and fewer call hours. Socially, visibility is expected, whether it's a consumer order or a bulk freight shipment, people expect tracking. Technology, there's tools out there that are proven, such as MacroPoint, Trucker Tools, and Project 44 that we can easily integrate into the business. Environmentally, tracking helps reduce fuel usage by improving the routing and reducing delays. And lastly, legally, with consent and contracts, driver data can be used fairly and responsibly. Moving to our Porter's 5 forces, thinking about the competitive dynamics, we believe buying power is high as clients can easily switch brokers, and visibility helps give you a bit of a competitive edge and helps make you stickier. Supplier power is moderate. Drivers have leverage, but incentives help you retain the best drivers, especially if other competitors aren't offering the same incentives. Competition is intense, with many brokers competing on pricing and on service. New entrants are also a threat, especially digital freight startups, so it's going to be important for your culture and compliance strategy in order to raise the bar relative to your competition. And substitutes are minimal, but internalizing logistics or switching to a more visible broker is always a risk. This strategy directly strengthens your competitive position across all 5 forces. Now we are going to move on to our SWOT summary. One of Reliant's major strengths is it has a scalable network, strong culture, which we can continue to build on, and existing technology infrastructure. One of the weaknesses includes current compliance rates, and then there's also a limited history with enforcement-based programs, so we'll have to see how this rollout goes. The opportunity is enormous here. Shippers are actively looking for brokers with better visibility, which Reliant can offer. And then the threat is that competitors are already making moves such as this, and the longer that Reliant waits, the harder it's going to be to catch up. Our next slide here focuses on the competitive strategy. Our recommendation is clear. We want to focus on differentiation. Reliant should win business by offering a better experience, not just better rates. This means more transparency, stronger communication, and a reputation for reliability. It also means creating a performance-driven culture internally that mirrors what your clients expect externally. Moving on here, I want to talk a little bit about ethics and stakeholder theory. We were intentional about ethics in this system. Tracking is based on opt-in transparency, Drivers know what's expected, and then they're fairly compensated from that. There are clear incentives and fair warnings. So the drivers shouldn't expect any surprises, and it's not a one-size-fits-all punishment with our system. Clients benefit from the honesty that we're providing them. The internal teams get better tools, and the company earns trust through a system that creates value for all involved, not just your stockholders. Moving on here, looking at the innovation lens. The three things we want to focus on is desirability. Clients want visibility. Drivers want higher compensation and rewards. And then internal teams want a smoother workflow. Feasibility, the tech is already here. It's tested and we can integrate it and make it easily available for our drivers. And lastly, viability. The cost is justified by improved client retention, fewer service failures, and better internal efficiency. This isn't just new, it's smart, doable, and sustainable. Kind of moving on to our KPIs. We're going to track the progress using real data. So the percentage of loads tracked in real time, number of bonuses paid to drivers, which tell us how well the incentive is working. Another KPI can be number of coaching sessions or terminations resulting from drivers not adapting to the system, which will also help us improve our system. And reduction in where's my freight calls, a direct indicator of client satisfaction. So ideally, when we implement this system, we'll see less of our clients calling and wondering where their packages are because we'll have an easy to track system. And it's important to remember that the ultimate goal here is to sustain 90% plus compliance in fewer firefighting moments. What our hoped outcomes and benefits include is if this strategy is implemented, here's what Reliant can expect: stronger client trust through transparency, higher operational efficiency through automation, improved driver performance through accountability, and market leading position among brokers in our class. So you become the broker that clients want to stay with and that the drivers want to work for, which is key. So kind of looking at the reflection for our team, this project taught me that strategy is more about big ideas. So you can kind of see that through our compensation system. That's a big idea that hasn't really been implemented yet, but it could potentially be very helpful. It's all about building systems that people can execute on and balancing stakeholders' needs, managing risk, and staying competitive all at once.
Yeah, we've learned a lot about how transportation really works, and we're proud to offer a plan that's not only bold, but implementable.
Thank you.